Hello everyone, I greet in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Nathan Silas, and today we have a very interesting video to react to by Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, and he will be teaching about divorce in the Quran. So we'll be explaining some of the chapters of divorce in the Quran, and then some of the Islamic ruling, and then some of the decisions they make at the cost of maybe leading a nation. So if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get on to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion. This is basically for educational purposes, and I believe that at the end of this video we all are going to learn from this. So guys, without any further ado, let's get on to this video and check this out.
Your Bibles with you, no solution. Islam gives an answer to your problem.
Okay.
Divorce. Brother Shorosh was talking about divorce. You know how the Muslims look, when you malpractice, when you do something against your own teaching, you are culpable. No doubt the general Muslim community seems to have got that idea that when you want to divorce your wife, you just have to say talaq, talaq, talaq. But he's supposed to have known the Quran. There is a chapter in the Quran, the whole chapter is called Surah Talaq, meaning chapter divorce. You must have read it. Surah
Okay.
Talaq. Talaq means divorce.
Surah Talaq. Okay.
At the outset, Brother Shorosh, he said he has been studying the Quran for 2 years now. 2 years. Sure. See what the Quran says, please, brother. And then point a finger at the Quran and say, look, this Quranic teaching is not right, it's not feasible, it's unreasonable. Talk about the Quran. Don't talk about the Muslims. As much as we have bad Muslims, you have bad Christians.
Interesting.
He also quoted a Quranic verse, La ikraha fid din, which means there is no compulsion in religion. Compulsion is worthless. At the point of the gun or the knife, you force somebody to say, read the Shahada, the Kalima, the Creed of Islam, and the man is forced to read. What is it worth? Nothing. There is no compulsion in religion. But the insinuation is that the Muslims were doing compulsion. I said, look, my brother, Shorosh, you are a proof that the Muslims didn't use any compulsion for 1,400 years. For 1,400 years, you and your other Christians, whom you now say number 14 million, they lived in our midst. In Egypt, the Muslims have been the overlord of that country for 1,400 years. For a few years, the French came, for a few years, the British came, but overall, for 1,400 years, the Muslim has been ruling that land. And yet, today, you can boast there are 10 million Coptic Christians in Egypt. If there was compulsion of any kind, there would not have been a single Christian left in the country. The Muslims ruled Spain for 800 years. 800 years. We, because we failed to deliver the message, we were kicked out. We were kicked out. Shame on us. We didn't fulfill our obligations. But if they had used any type of force, even economic force, for 800 years, there would not have been a single Christian left in that country. We Muslims, we ruled India for 1,000 years. But after 1,000 years of Muslim rule, eventually when partition takes place, the Muslim gets 1/4, the Hindu gets 3/4. Why? Because we didn't do the job. We didn't use any compulsion. And which Muslim army went to Indonesia? Which Muslim army went to Nigeria? Which Muslim army conquered the east coast of Africa? Which Muslim army? Today, the Britisher and the American, he's coming towards Islam. I want to know what sword? What sword? What sword is the Muslim using? The sword of the intellect. George Bernard Shaw, he said, if any religion has a chance of conquering England, nay Europe, within the next 100 years, so that religion is Islam.
Okay.
Look, Bernard Shaw had the foresight, he could see. But we Muslims, we have failed Islam. Wallah, we have failed. We have failed. We haven't made a start yet. We believe. We say we believe, but we have not made a start yet. This is our problem. The destiny is ours. Wallah, it is ours. Allah says, لِيُزْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. He has given you a deen, a way of life that is to master, overcome and supersede them all, bulldoze them all, whether it be Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianism, communism, Judaism, every ism. Sword. I'm asking what sword? Thomas Carlyle.
Wow, that's a very interesting video, listening to Ahmed Deedat explaining in the Quran the chapter that was talking about divorce in Islam, and then also the spread of Islam. Though he went ahead to explain that Islam, if it were to be spread by sword, then no any other religion or Christianity could have been found in Egypt. He also talks about Spain, that the Islam, or should I say the Muslim, ruled for over 800 years, and then also talks about Malaysia, Indonesia, and even Europe, Nigeria, and the rest of it. But then he says something that if it were to be that these people are spreading this religion with violence or using compulsion, then a lot of people could have been killed, and the religion could have been seen as one of the best, or should I say the supreme, when he even make use of the India and then the rest of it. I know that for instance, as for Nigeria, I came from Nigeria actually, and then my great grandparents, you understand, from what I was told, you understand, in the history on how Islam was spread and all those things, I was told that it was through violence, and then therefore while they are spreading it, because my great grandfathers were idol worshippers, right? Yeah, they were worshipping idols. There was nothing like Christianity, because in Nigeria, I think Islam came to Nigeria for over, is it 100 years or over 150 years before Christianity even comes. So Islam has been in the country for a very long time, but I was told that it was through violence, and then that's when they were conquering the people and all that. Well, a lot of people, you understand, can actually object it, but then that's what I was told, you understand, yeah, concerning that. So, and that's how Islam was spread, and that was the reason why some people decide to resist. So like my people, they tend to resist it, and that's why we are Christian. I happens to be a Christian, even though from Nigeria. Even though I've not been to Nigeria for many years now. I've been out of the country for many years now, but then that's what, you understand, I was told, to whether it is true or not. But then I was just being specific, you understand, about Nigeria, but then I do not know of the rest. But then when you look at it, you understand, based on what Ahmed Deedat is saying, he's saying that I don't say that this is what the Muslims do, or this is what Islam teaches, but pointed out from the Quran that shows that Islam is a religion of violence, which you may not actually see anything like that. Because if you look at Quran chapter 5, when you read from verse, I think it's verse 35 or something like that, it was saying that when you take a life of human, like of one person, it's like as if you have taken the entire humanity. That's if you killed, understand, an innocent person, right? Yeah, so it means that it does not preach about one innocent killing one another and all that, even though the sect or people for different reason or different interests went on killing people, and then they will say Allahu Akbar, and then at the end of the day they now take it to Islam. So that's what makes people to start saying that, oh, Islam is a religion of terror, is a religion of violence and all those things. Why? Because people do things of different interests and then therefore target to Islam, and that's why people tend to see Islam in that very light. But then the best thing to do is to keep educating people, make people understand that this is not what Islam is all about, and able to differentiate what those people do, so that even if somebody went on to commit a crime and then say he's doing in the name of God, then you should be able to, like the scholars supposed to teach the people, teach the public, make them understand that this is not what Islam is all about. Islam is a religion of peace. Islam is a religion that spread love to one another. So to make people understand that Islam is not what the media portray it and understand to be, at that point in time, people will tend to understand some of those things. And I think that if it to be possible, I think things like this or history like this should be included in some of our curriculum, okay, so that people should be taught in a sense about some of these things. People should also understand their right and understand others' religion, so that to avoid this perception that maybe probably some people might be saying some things maybe based on sentiment. Maybe whatever they told me, maybe it is true, maybe it is not true. But imagine that maybe probably it's been taught in the school. Maybe probably some people would tend not to hate some kind of religion because probably because of some things some parent might say may not be true. And then if a child gets it, then you take a time for him to be able to like understand that, oh look, this thing they're talking about is either right or wrong, you see. But then if maybe probably it's been taught, maybe probably even in the, I don't know, at the basic levels and all those things, I think it will help. I do not know, I'm just suggesting, but then I think that it will really help to be able to clear some doubt and then perception about others people religion. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, if you like, share and subscribe. If you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, you remain blessed and I see you in my next video. Bye bye.